What is up, guys? This is gonna be part 2 of my game room tour, and in this room tour, or in this video, I'm gonna show you all my video game consoles. And we're gonna start with a console that took the spotlight the last 2 weeks or so, and I would never imagine it would do that, but it did. It's the 360, and I'm gonna show you all my Xbox consoles, all my Xbox 360s and Xbox consoles that I have. I have a few Xbox 360s. I got one Series X, one Xbox One, and a classic one. So yeah, let me go through the consoles. So my very first Xbox 360 I bought in 2007. It's the Elite model that came with 2 controllers, a 120 gigabyte hard drive, and unfortunately also some airflow issues. So I had like the ring of death, I believe. After 6 months or so, I had the ring of death already. So I gave it to a repair service, and the repair service did that thing here. They made a hole in the case, and I think they added an extra fan or something to have a better airflow, because they thought that if they would give it back just like that, it would have the same issue after a while. So they did that. And modifying game cases back then was a thing, was very popular. So they even gave me that and said, hey, you know, don't worry, you know, it was for free. So I was like, well, it's ugly, but okay, at least I have better airflow and my console doesn't break. It was during a phase where I had barely no money, so I flashed my hard drive and I started to download and burn games. And for that, I remember you needed a specific DVD burner because you couldn't use any one. And I had a Pioneer one with a specific software. I don't remember, like I'm out of that scene. And you needed also verbatim DVD double layer DVDs, because if you were using the cheap ones, you had pop-in issues with the games. Well, for example, if you were playing an open world game and you were driving around, sometimes it would just crash against the wall, and then you didn't know what happened, and you know the wall would pop up like a second later or so. So I remember, like, I used to spend a lot of money on those verbatim DVD layer. You know, it was a very expensive thing, but you know, eventually, I think in 2010 or so, or 2011, I really don't remember anymore, but it gave up again, and it has since then. The ring of death, it's just like, it's my very first 360. I was so proud back then, and I played this console on a CRT television because I didn't have like one of those LCD TVs or monitors. So I have good memories with this console, though. That's why I'm still kind of holding on to. So yeah, in 2011, I had a better job. I could afford things, and I got myself the 360. I believe it was 2011. I'm not sure, but I bought it, the 360 Gears of War limited edition, because I wanted to play online, and I bought this console. And I also got myself one of those carrying cases you see here. This one looks really cool, but the thing is, it's probably the most uncomfortable way to transport your console, because this thing here is probably weighs like the triple amount of what an Xbox 360 weighs, and it's just super uncomfortable. But it really looks cool, I must say that. But I don't know. And you open it up, you can put your console here, and you can put some cables and stuff like that. So yeah. So let me close that thing again. So it looks pretty cool, but I'm telling you, it's just like, yeah, it's just very uncomfortable to transport the console. So after a while, a few years passed, and in my region where I live, there are a lot of people from the US having some kind of military service. So I got myself a US Xbox 360, and it's this one that I have. Actually, I have it plugged up here. You know, I play here my games, and there on the left where the cables are, I have there this one plugged in. And playing Xbox 360 on CRT TVs is actually not that bad. It's just when text popping, it's really washed out and you can barely read it. So I don't know, like the last thing I played, I think it was Call of Duty or so. So yeah, I bought this from, like I said, a military guy that came from the US and had here military service, and I just bought it from him. So my plan was to have a US model, because I know in America there's a few exclusive Xbox 360 games like Operation Darkness and a few more other JRPGs. Now, sadly, over the last 2 weeks, Xbox 360, the prices have spiked like crazy, and they reached, you know, they are now absurd. Like, I think Operation Darkness costs right now $200, and it was back then already expensive, $100, and now for whatever reason, it's like it costs a double amount. I really don't get it, because I believe the game wasn't even in the digital market anymore, and that was the reason why it was so expensive. But now it's like just double the price. It was cool back then. The 360 had memory cards. That was actually pretty cool. Like, I nearly forgot that the 360 had memory cards back then. So yeah, that's a US model, because I wanted to get some exclusive games, Operation Darkness, NCAA games, and the college hoops games. I wanted to get them because they don't release here in Europe. But yeah. And then I got the Modern Warfare 3 console. This is another US model that I got. The same scenario a few years later. It just really looks cool, and the price was very good. I think I paid for this one like $60 and a good amount of video games. So the deal was actually pretty good. For those two, I don't have the boxes, by the way. I just bought them like that, just like that, without boxes. And from this one, the controller is missing. I don't have the original Modern Warfare 3 controller. I just have the Modern Warfare 3 360 console. So yeah. Then I got the 360 Slim. This is not the glossy one. This is just like the basic 4GB one. And I got this console from a friend, because my friend goes to flea markets. He's a reseller, but he doesn't resell games. He resells bikes. He goes to flea markets in different cities and regions. He looks for bikes, he goes home with them and restores and sells them. But he knows that I'm a video game addict, so he keeps an eye on stuff for video games. And he found a box with video games and consoles and stuff like that from someone for $50 or so. And there were like there was a Super Nintendo, a 360, and a PS1. And the 360 he doesn't like, so he gave it to me just like that. Even though I don't need one, but yeah, because I have another one. Yep. And then in 2013, I believe, I bought the Day 1 edition of the Xbox One. I remember it was a black box with a FIFA bundle, and it gave you like this game score, Day 1 2013. Yeah, it was actually not bad. I played games like Rise, Son of Rome, Dead Rising 3, and I played a lot of NBA 2K14, I remember. That is probably still my favorite 2K game. And yeah, I had a good time with the Xbox One, but I think the image, the damage on the image was already done with the announcement of having permanent online only, and I don't know. It was very, very weird. So later on, I bought myself the PS4, but that's my Xbox One. I had an Xbox Series S with the Gears of War 4 limited edition, but that one I gave it to my brother because his Xbox One gave up, and he is just basically an Xbox player, so I gave it mine. And yep. So after a while, I started collecting for the Xbox Classic. So I got myself an Xbox Classic console, and this one is a US model because basically all my retro stuff that I have for my game collections is it's either Japanese or retro. It's either Japanese or US. So that's why my Xbox is US as well. And here's my Xbox Series X. It starts to collect dust because I haven't used it for, I believe, over a year now. And yeah. So yeah, that is my Xbox collection. Now let's check out what we have from Sony. All right, and here are my PlayStation or my Sony consoles. And yeah. So let me start with my PlayStation 2 that I still have. This is my PlayStation 2 from my childhood. I really love this thing. From all the consoles that you've seen and you're gonna see, if I only have one to keep, it will be this one, because this one is that console from my childhood. All the games that I played, and it still works. My 360 that I had back then doesn't work anymore, but this one still works. Yeah, this is a PlayStation 2 Slim. This one is a US model, you know, because, you know, I play all my retro games basically from the US. I also have another Slim over there. I'm just too lazy to take him out. This is the model that I'm using right now to play my games. There are like 2 Slim variations, I think, and I think this is the newest one. I'm not sure. Anyhow, that's the one that I'm using. But I could use both. They are all working. So yeah, I should have started, by the way, with the PlayStation 1. But this one has a very fun story. I bought this from a student in I believe in 2013. And there was this student who was very desperate and needed money, and he was selling his stuff. And a friend of mine and me, we took the bus and we drove over there, and he wanted to buy some tools from him. And then I saw the PS1 and I just said, hey, it's a cool PS1 that you have there. And then he just started to, come on, buy it from me, I need money. And he gave me a spine of burned games. There were like 50 burned games. And this TV here that I still have because of, you know, nostalgic feelings, for 30 bucks. And when I went home, I was having the console under one hand, the TV under another. I was holding the burn games like this, and my controls are wrapped it around my neck, and it looked very hilarious. When I was sitting on the bus, people were smiling. So that's a very fun story that I have. So, and this console here, I bought it later when I started also collecting games. This one has the monitor, and I really love it because I'm still, when I go to work sometimes and I have some business meetings, you know, they give us hotels and we have to sleep over there overnight. And sometimes I take my PS1 with me. I have here my carrying case, and I play like, I don't know, like an hour Resident Evil or so before going to bed. So yeah, but if I play PlayStation 1, I mostly play it here because of the LCD monitor. So, yep. Alright, so that was PS1, PS2, we got them. Oh, I got another PS2, by the way, here with a box. This is a found that, you know, my friend again found this one in a flea market, but this one is actually very dirty, you see here. I think I might have to open it up and clean it before. Then I got here my 500 million limited edition console. Beautiful console. It has 2 terabyte, and this one is currently at my living room because I'm playing still from time to time. I play a lot of Pro Evo, and my save file is here, and I also have my edits. You know, you can just you can download some shirts and kits and put it on in your game. So that's why I'm playing right now this a lot. This is the Last of Us Part 2 PS4 Pro. I should have probably picked another spot to record this, but too late. The Last of Us Part 2. Oh, I can show you the box though. It looks like this. It's a pretty dope console. I just bought it for the looks, to be honest. I have barely used this console. I found this during a time where the PS5 was announced, and someone sold it for 200 bucks, and I bought it. Now I don't have the stand, sadly, you know, like this here. You know, I don't have it. So yeah. I also have a Metal Gear Solid 5 limited edition console. That was my very first PS4, but me and my friends had like this cool idea to have a LAN party with PlayStation 4 and play online, and I drove over there. I only grabbed my console, the controller I still have here somewhere around, and I drove over there. We plugged all the cables and everything. We had no idea what we were doing, and then we had this conversation. I just said it just to trash talk that the Star Wars prequel movies are better than the original. They were all mad, and we started watching all the Star Wars movies all of a sudden, and it didn't even play. And I left the console over there, but my friend promised me he will bring it back. That was just like a few years back, and I see like he still haven't. So, but yeah, I also have the Metal Gear console over there as well. So, and the last of us PS5 custom plates that I put on my PS5. A guy, his name is Retro Liquor, and he made those custom plates, and they really look very awesome in his videos. But I think I got a really messed up one. I don't know. Let me know, is this faceplate looking good or not? I do like the back though, with the Firefly sign. This one looks good. The front is just like in his videos. The Last of Us is just clean, you know. And now he has like those grass elements, and it really feels like grass. Like, he has done such a great job, but I'm not sure. I like it, but I think the faceplates he shows in his videos are way cleaner, but still I kind of like it. And the last from my Sony is my 2 handheld consoles. I got my PlayStation Portable. This is also a console that I bought, I believe, in 2007 or so. I was a commuter, and I'd always had to travel around 2 hours with train to reach my workplace, sometimes longer. And this was my best buddy back then. I had everything here. I was watching movies, listening to music, and man, like I really love the PlayStation Portable. It's still my console from back then. I bought this 2007. I brought it from a classmate of mine back then. And the PlayStation Vita, I never really got into the Vita. There are a handful of games I like, and I really like that the touchpad on the back, especially when you're playing FIFA and you were touching the back, the position he would shoot the ball in that direction in the goal. That was a nice feature. I also like Uncharted, but that's pretty much it. Like all the games, I got the Metal Gear Solid collection installed, but I got like 4 or 5 games installed, you know, but physically I only have 1 game actually. I only have Street Fighter Cross Tekken. That's the only game that I have physically for the Vita. I'm not a big fan of the Vita. And I also think the current console generation, the PS5 is just not great. For me, PS4 is just like, that was like peak gaming, I must say, because PS5, I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but PS5 has mostly upgrades, remasters. Yeah, man, I don't know. I can count 10 games exclusive for the PS5 that are amazing or awesome. You know, there are certainly great games, but like I'm telling you, know, like the caliber the PS4 had, I'm not sure about that. Anyhow, so that was Sony. Now I'm gonna get the rest of the consoles, so see you in a second. Alright guys, I skipped by accident the PlayStation 3, and I want to add them now before going to the last part. The PlayStation 3, in my opinion, such a great console. I bought the PlayStation 3 Fat Lady, I believe in 2011. They were sorted out, and it was a special sale offer with a FIFA 10 bundle. I remember that. And the PlayStation 3 for me was not always only a video game console. I used this also as a CD music player, because you could put music CDs in and rip them off so you can save the songs. And also something that I really love to do, you could do some dia shows. What I did was I went on vacation, and when I came back I saved my photos on the PlayStation, and I was having a little dia show with music in the background. So nice. I also remember that I watched Breaking Bad. I went through the web browser, and I went into some internet sites, and then I watched Breaking Bad, and it really worked. So I have such a great memories for the PlayStation 3. Dope console, I love it. And so yeah, here is the PlayStation 3 Super Slim. I have 3 of them actually, but I'm just gonna pick one here to show you. The PlayStation 3 Super Slim. Now the PlayStation 3 Super Slim looks actually pretty cheap. You have this console in your hand. I must say it's actually pretty dope. I liked it. If you put it down, and you can just slide them up like that. I like the PlayStation 3 Super Slim. I have 3 of them. I have one as a Last of Us bundle case. I can show you the case. It's up there. There's my box. I also have one as a special edition God of War, where it has a special edition controller, and another one with the Black Flag box. So I have 3 Super Slims. That's that's the PlayStation 3. And I'll do the final part. Alright, so this is gonna be the last part of my console collection. The Dreamcast, I really don't want to get this out of the box, but I can assure you I bought this in 2019 for 150 in mint condition. And 2020, when the lockdown happened and I bought another game from this guy, he told me, man, you still have the Dreamcast? And I was like, yeah. And he said, man, you have made such a great deal because the price has exploded. I mean, everybody's aware of that. And so yeah, I think to get a Dreamcast like this, you might have to pay, I don't know, $300 or so, because it is really like brand new, the Dreamcast, man, I'm telling you. This Sega Master System 2 here, I got it from a friend. His neighbor was a Messi and he died. And he is one of those people who he collects trash, he collects everything, like, a Messi. And so his brother asked my friend, hey, can you help me out to, take out the trash and everything? And I said, thank you, you can keep, stuff you would like to have. And he grabbed a few stuff like the Sega Master System 2, because he found it in a corner, and he gave it to me, and a bunch of other stuff like the guy had like World War II, forks and knives and stuff, so he kept that in a handgun, I believe. So yeah, but I got the Sega Master System too. So I'm sorry that I'm not gonna taking them out, but I'm gonna show you a console from Sega. You don't see that often. So it's the Sega Dreamcast in Sakura Wars design. It's the Dreamcast for internet. Yeah, I bought this like a few years ago, totally pure of emotions. I don't know why I bought it, but I really don't regret it, because it's a beautiful console, and it came such a amazing condition. There is zero yellowing with this one. It's like almost brand new, and it's very hard to get a console, especially in this condition, because you have to import it from Japan, and in Japan all the consoles are yellowed, and like I said, like the shipping costs and the taxes you have to pay to transport that, it will take you like $600 or so to get this console. And I bought this one for $250. I bought it in a retro video game store, like I said, many years back. Now I will admit I have barely used it, just once with a freeloader. If you know, you know. No, I'm not gonna do the JLo move. So it's a freeloader, allows you to play burn games. So you have to put that disc and close it, and then you can just switch and play the other game. And here is my Nintendo stuff. I don't have that much Nintendo stuff, but it's definitely enough for me. I got my Nintendo 3DS, and here I have since 2022 one of those cards. If you know, you know. And then I got my GameCube. I bought this in a flea market, like I believe it was 2015. I'm not really a GameCube guy. Here are my GameCube games, by the way. I just grabbed like 1 or 2 yearly. There's a game inside. Soul Calibur. Noise. My Nintendo Switch, the Fortnite edition. This is collecting dust like crazy. So if you see my pickup videos, I'm picking more and more Switch games, because I want to have more variety and more motivation to play my Switch, because it's really sad. I play the Switch probably less than my Xbox Series X, and that one is really collecting dust. So yeah. Here is my Super Famicom. I had a Super Nintendo. I sold that because I didn't have much space, and I tried to sell the Super Famicom, but nobody wanted to buy it. I really tried, but then I gave up, and I was like, all right, so I guess I'm gonna keep this one. Maybe because my box has here like a crack, maybe that's the reason. But $50 for a Super Famicom complete with 2 games, I think it's okay. Yeah, I tried for like half a year, nobody wanted to buy it, and I was all right, so I guess I'm gonna keep it, but I will eventually try out later or so. And here is my N64. It's gonna be the last console for this video, and this was the first console that I bought when it comes to collecting retro video games. My PS2 is the oldest, but this console here started my entire, you know, collection thing. And the one and only No Mercy game. That's the reason why I bought this console, because the game back then, I remember I played it emulated in it was 2012, something like that, and the game had like a flickering when you were putting up the game and stuff like that. So I was like, nah, I wanna play the real deal. And no, I think nowadays the game might run well. I'm not sure. I haven't played that game emulated for a while, but I'm pretty sure since emulation has evolved ridiculously, I'm pretty sure this game runs perfectly fine emulated. Which, by the way, I played the game AEW wrestling game for PS5, and people say it's like No Mercy. It's not. It's surely not. And if you don't know, I highly suggest you to get an emulator and play No Mercy, and then play SmackDown Here Comes the Pain and SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, and you're gonna see how much better those games still are. So yeah. Alright, so this is my video. Those were all my video game consoles. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Which one is your favorite video game console? And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you and bye.